Welcome to Edo International News coming from the heart of London. My name is Osoriyamu and these are the end of November 2018 headlines. We start in the United Kingdom where Britain agrees to return artifacts back to Benin City. Also in London, delegates from the Edo diaspora pay a courtesy visit to the new Nigerian ambassador to the United Kingdom. Over to Benin City, and after Edos have spent the last 4 weeks in darkness, Governor Obaseki finally snaps and walks the BEDC boss out of his office. Still in Benin City, and the issue of restructuring is back on the agenda. Don Pedro Obaseki talks about the upcoming Midwest Summit on December 12, 2018. Then it's back to London for Edo Health, where speech and language therapist Mr. Sosa Evonaye says it's time for autism awareness in Benin City. That and many more Edo news from around the world, including Edo Next Gen London Lunch, Edo Poetry from Illinois, Edo Praise, Edo Sport, and the new Edo International Entertainment Show when we get back. Edo International News is supported by Obaseki Solicitors. The British Museum has agreed to return a collection of bronzes to Benin City on loan after an international clamour for the artifacts to be restituted. As part of the agreement, the Benin bronzes, which were taken from Benin City by British troops in 1897, will be lent back to the museum being set up in Benin City, Nigeria. This is the first official arrangement following returns of 2 artifacts to Benin in 2014 by Dr. Mark Walker and Chief Steve Dunstan.
For many years I have known about the bronzes in the family and I've always longed to own them. But when my mother died in September, I did finally own them. And then to my surprise, I found that I wasn't as pleased to have them as I should be, because I knew my children and grandchildren would not appreciate them as much as I did. And that gave me the idea that perhaps they should go to the place where they will be appreciated forever.
Delegates from the UK Edo diaspora led by Mr. Joe Ehigambusoy paid a courtesy visit to the new Nigerian ambassador to the United Kingdom, Ambassador George Adesola Okuntade. The delegation, comprising of the Ojonwe Council of the United Kingdom, the Benin Union UK, the ASA and AFEMA Association UK, arrived at the Nigerian consulate to officially introduce the Edo community to the new ambassador. Mr. Joe Ehigambusoy, who is the Edo State Cultural Ambassador to the United Kingdom, said that the visit was to welcome the new ambassador, introduce the Edo community, and said the visit was to welcome the new ambassador, introduce the Edo community, and to express our willingness to be aware of business opportunities and trade partnerships in Nigeria. There was some melodrama at the government house in Benin this week when Governor Obaseki received members of the Board of Representatives on Power. The governor snapped when he saw the BEDC boss Funke Osibadu in the delegation. He asked her to leave, saying her name was not on the list and that the BEDC has posed an obstacle to providing electricity to Edo State despite the high amount of electricity Edo State generates for the country.
Even if they don't have respect for their regulators, I don't expect they will have respect for it. We are not in a peacemaking mode. I am not, in fact, I am upset that they are even here because I didn't invite them. I'm actually upset that they are here. So I would rather have a conversation with you, one-on-one, and we finish, but not with them. Okay. Absolutely not with them.
Darkness now for over 4 weeks. Still in Edo State, and the appetite for restructuring and fighting marginalization is as high as ever. This year's Midwest Summit is coming up on December 12th in Delta State and is hosted by Governor Godwin Obaseki and Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State. Last year, Governor Obaseki said decisions on restructuring were matters of urgency. This year, he promises to provide an update.
We are now faced with a new reality. It's here with us, and we cannot run away from issues. So it's not about talking and putting the reports on the shelves anymore. We have to make those decisions now because they are staring us in the face.
Many of the comments that have been made really center on devolution of powers, whether it is railway, because now it is in the exclusive legislative list. Whether it is education is on the concurrent list. And so power generation is on the exclusive legislative decentralization.
Don Pedro Obaseki gives us a recap and taster of what to expect in this year's summit on December 12, 2018.
Western region with the capital in Ibadan, Eastern region with the capital in Enugu, and then the Midwestern region with the capital in Benin City. So when Nigeria was balkanized by military fiat by Gowon, they divided us into 12. So the Midwestern peoples of Edo and Delta became 1/12.
Back to London for Edo Health, and this week we are with speech and language therapist Mrs. Esosa Evonaye, who says it's time for autism awareness programs in Benin City. She cites serious examples and says Edo State is missing out on geniuses due to a lack of knowledge in handling autistic cases. She talks about the case of Adams Oshomole chastising the Edo teacher who could not read, Patrick Obayagmon's use of English language, and Odin Legema as autistic cases that have been misunderstood in Benin City. She also announces plans to open up an autistic center in Benin City for the poor. Ms. Esosa Evonaye talks to Edo International News.
Good morning. My name is Esosa Ewonaye. I'm a pediatric speech and language therapist, and I work with children that have speech, language, and communication problems.
Honorable Obayagmon, this process, how would you describe it?
Well, the first thing is to say, what is this all about? And to answer your question straight away, let me say that this is the climax of a democratic peregrination among a vaudeville of gubernatorial aspirants.
When somebody starts using jargons or using words that are not English to communicate in English language, Nigeria is an English-speaking country. We do not speak Spanish, we do not speak German, we do not speak any other language. But when you hear when Mr. Obayagmon speaks, some of the words that he says are, some of them are not English. So in the case of that teacher that was picked up by the governor of Edo State at one point, who couldn't read properly, it could be that the teacher was athletic dyslexic.
Stem to the truth and be correct by reading or please correct. Okay. Make I start that thing.
She was probably dyslexic and was not picked up as a child, and nothing was put in place to help that teacher. And the teacher, but the question is, how dysfunction is our society? How did that teacher skip the net and become a teacher herself? Thank you for listening, and I hope in future I'll be able to support people, children in Nigeria, children that have autism, learning disability, Down syndrome, stammering, and dyslexia children. That's my goal.
We'll be back with more Edo news after the break. Edo International News is supported by Obaseki Solicitors. The first time Edo Next Generations got together in London to introduce themselves in an occasion called The Lunch proved to be a night of great Edo potential. The evening had Edo quiz, Edo history, Edo cultural dance, Edo performance, Edo network, and above all, the Edo Next Gen set out their vision to not only build on this platform, but also to participate in the rebuilding of Edo State. Oba Tokbe is said.
So my name is Joy Amorike, and I was born in the UK, but my entire family was born in Edo State, so ultimately I'm an Edo lady in the UK. Tonight has been phenomenal. It's our first Edo Next Gen event. I cannot believe the way things are happening. I went into the foyer and met Bishop Michael, who had spent time in Nigeria. He came and blessed our event for us. We've had people talking non-stop.
So I'm happy of the turnout. It's been amazing. There's been so many people. We've had games, networking, and everyone enjoyed themselves. And I'm so happy for the next one. I'll make sure you're there.
Just to make new friends, make new companions, and kind of learn more about my culture. I think that's the most important thing, just kind of bringing everyone together so we can learn and grow together. So
also for Edo development, it's an avenue for human resources because as we age on, and also they will also pass it on the way we are passing it on to them.
I'm at Edo Next Gen.
I'm Isha and I'm here to know more about Benin, where I'm from, and I hope to see you guys at the next event if you're not here already. Bye!
My name is Latoya Umoro, and I'm here for the Edo Next Generation event, and I'm sure it's going to be really good.
So what advice do you have for the younger generation?
Oh, the advice I have for the younger generation is one thing, it's just simple. Be yourself, know who you are, be able to identify who you are, no matter what generation you belong to.
So no, I'm not Edo, I'm Yoruba. However, I came to support my friend, Precious.
Credit to the host, Miss Jo Morige, and her team for putting on a fantastic event. Next is Edo Praise. We quickly interrupt this broadcast to bring you some good news on social media from Texas, where the mega comrade Eranomigo Edegbe joins the Benin Royal Army Intelligence Division to help bring some control to careless utterances by Edos on social media. Now for Edo Praise. Edo International News is supported by Obaseki Solicitors. This week on Edo Praise, we're in London for the Christ Apostolic Church of God Mission Truth Center 10th year anniversary, held on the weekend of November 25th, 2018. Special guests included the CACGM Superintendent from Texas, Reverend Dr. Matthew Ogbonwa, and Pastor Betty Asemota from New York. The highlight of the occasion came when Pastor Friday Igbineweka was ordained a reverend by the overseer from Texas. Special guests in attendance to help celebrate this occasion included Prince Ekme Rejawa, Prince Osaritin Akenzua, and Dr. Taiwo Idemudia from the Ojonwe Council in the United Kingdom. At the end of the celebration, Reverend Matthew Ogbonwa spoke to Edo International News about the wonderful experience he will take back with him to Texas.
We have seen this year coming to a place where the 10th year is being celebrated and seeing great men and great women in this church today, men, the government workers and councillors and the Jowere and all those. This is very unique, and you see a lot of children here who are developing. I really thank God, I worship God. It is exciting, and we bless God for everybody. And to the news people too, we thank you all for coming to cover this coverage. May God bless you. It is an exciting thing, and this should be something that should be practiced in all the boroughs or the counties or the areas in this England. It is beautiful. It is a good example. We thank God. Thank God. Please tell us where you are from. I am from Texas, Houston, Texas.
Edo Praise is supported by Loretta Reveal.
Loretta Oduwari Oboro Oko. This book, it has become a very special book for me. Loretta was referred to me by a mutual friend whose book I had initially also worked on. You know, she just called me WhatsApp call late one evening on my way home from work and said, I hear you're a publisher and I am looking for someone who can publish my book. I'm looking for somebody who's really good, who can pay attention to detail. And she had a whole bucket list of do's and don'ts, you know, on that very first call, and I was quite amused, you know.
Next is our Edo Special of the Month. On Edo Special of the Month, we shine the spotlight on the job of the Edo State Cultural Ambassador to the UK diaspora, Mr. Joe Ehigiamasoy. He talks to Edo International News about the changes in the Obaseki administration, accessibility, and how he has been traveling with the Commissioner for Tourism and Diaspora Affairs to promote investment to Edo State indigenes in diaspora. What we all Edos agree on is that there's work to be done, and we're glad positions like the Cultural Ambassador are being created.
Edos in diaspora together. As research has shown over the years, Edo people are amongst the most widely traveled people around the world. Incidentally, we happen to be here in the United Kingdom. Unity, we're told, is strength. And this is one of the things that we're trying to harness right here in the UK and perhaps spread it across to other countries around the world. The government has seen the need for Edos to look homeward. And one of the things to do that, one of the ways to do that is for us to have a common database where we can identify you, me, and indeed every other person. Businesses, clubs, associations, organizations, wherever you are as an Edo indigene. If you want to get in touch, you can reach me on a telephone number +44 7404 366 900.
1963, the Midwestern region, the only constitutionally created federating unit in Nigeria, was born as Nigeria's 4th region. 12 December 2018, 55 years later, the Midwest peoples of Edo and Delta states gather in Asaba for the Midwest Summit. Captains of industry, professionals, politicians, traditional rulers, academicians, youth, women and community leaders, all proud Bendelites, all sons and daughters of Edo and Delta states of the Midwestern region of Nigeria are invited to the Midwest Summit on 12 December 2018. Venue, Orchid Hotels Asaba, time 9 a.m. Keynotes, President Muhammadu Buhari as APC presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as PDP presidential candidate, guests of honor, all presidential candidates. Co-host, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, Executive Governor of Delta State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, Executive Governor of Edo State, Masters of Ceremony, Ohi Alegbe, Richard Mofe Damijo, Sonny Rabo, and Israel Ejeren. The Midwest Summit. Let's determine the place of the Delta and Edo peoples in a new Nigeria. The Midwest Summit is convened by the Midwest Movement. All been there.
Edo Special of the Month is supported by totalaspirations.co.uk. Coming up is Edo Poetry from Illinois, Edo Sport, Edo Entertainment, and the announcement. On this edition of Edo Poetry, we go 20 minutes from Chicago to Calumet City, Illinois, to Edo Shepherds Forum. Edo Shepherds Forum is a singular media forum for indigenous Edo people. The founder, Bishop Stephen Arawa, says there are a lot of things in our cultural world that are misinterpreted in the first world. We use our first language to minister to people because it can provide that deeper meaning. Edo Shepherds Forum provides services for Edo people, including teaching of the Edo language, cultural values, pastoral counseling, lineage greeting, Edo history, poetry, and a lot of content to enhance Edo lives and happiness. Let's take a look at this week's poetry.
We thank God for today. We greet our people. We greet our palace and our palaces. We greet the Omonoba Edo, the king and the supreme ruler of the Edo people. Oba Ewaye, Oba Ato, Okpei, Ise. We greet the princes and the princesses. We greet the dukes, which we call a Nige. We greet the Jomwere, the oldest people afraid of the villages and village communities. The way God divided us and made us is so supreme, is so beautiful. We should be proud of who we are, the Edo people. Today we are going to continue with the rulership of Edo Kingdom. The kings, the Obas, whom God placed over us.
Their programs are available via their website, Facebook, and YouTube at www.edoshepherds.com. Edo Poetry is supported by totalaspirations.co.uk. Next is Edo Sport and Entertainment. Edo Sport takes us over to Nigeria, Delta State, where former President Olusegun Obasanjo commissioned the 23,000 capacity Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba. During his playing career, Keshi earned 60 caps for the Nigerian national football team, making him the nation's second most capped player at the time of his retirement. He represented the country at the 1994 FIFA World Cup and the 1994 African Cups of Nations, captaining the Super Eagles to victory in the latter. Stephen Keshi died of a heart attack on the 7th of June 2016. Edo Sport is supported by totalaspirations.co.uk. On Edo Entertainment this time, we go to the city of Cannes in France to Edo boy Nicos Bay. How do we know about Nicos Bay? Well, he sent Edo International an email. Good evening, sir. My name is Nicos Bay. I'm an artist from Edo State, Iyekuselu boy. I'm based in France and I do Afro hip hop. I've been following your news program on YouTube and I'm proud of it. As a Benin boy, I rep. I just dropped my video titled Mavere 19th November 2018. Please, I just want to ask if my clip can be read and displayed as you do on your news show. Well, Nicos Bay, your request has been granted. And here is Nicos Bay world premiere Mavere straight from France.
Yo, my beautiful people. It's your own boy Nicos Bay, aka the Mavere Master. I just dropped a single titled Mavere, a video and an audio produced by D-Dex from Nigeria. And a very big thank you to Edo Connect, who have taken time to really put things together for all the Edos in diaspora. And as an artist, please let us support ourselves, because the sky is going to be our starting point. You understand? So Edo to the world, Edo to the universe, Marry to everywhere.
Who you be when I did wear? Poppy champagne, not my fault. All the girls go come around. Oh yeah, man, now so we do one. First to do, you know they pay. Anything I do, they pay. Go on there, yeah, pussy look. We not talk like you have a dog.
Next up on Edo Entertainment is the Netherlands for Stainless Amadi, aka Stainless the World Queen. She's gotta be the hottest Edo female artist out right now. After dropping hits last year like Aimie Momo and Ekena Kema, she's ending this year with a bang. Her new single, Nadeginyaye, is definitely one, if not the biggest smash record this year from any Edo female artist worldwide. Stainless tells Edo International News she will be shooting a video to the song in January 2019, and at that time, the song should also be available on iTunes to buy. The life of Stainless is a fantastic story in the making. Elsewhere on Edo Entertainment, and Edo Connect announces it's launching Edo Entertainment Control, a musical hub to support Edo artists worldwide. Edo Entertainment Control will be a new hub for Edo artists and those in Nollywood to showcase their work. Their music and films will be charted by international UK DJs and movie tasters that will help expose Edo Entertainment to a wider audience. Cash prizes will be awarded monthly. Edo Entertainment Control will also serve as a place where government officials, dignitaries, and members of the Edo diaspora can find Edo artists for occasions, record deals, and shows. Its Edo Music Hit List chart, featuring Edo music from Edo artists all over the world, starts this December 2018. This initiative has been supported by Dr. Charles Omorodion.
My name is Dr. Omorodion. I'm very excited about this new initiative, Edo Entertainment Control. I think it's about time that we started supporting our up-and-coming artists, even the established one. If you look at the Nollywood and you look at the music industry in Nigeria, they're usually populated by non-Edos. Very few Edos are in the very top in their game, and unless we start supporting them, we will never be able to give them a springboard to be able to achieve their goal. As you would appreciate, these new industries are the new frontiers, and it creates a lot of employment, enables our young people to showcase their work to the wider world, and they deserve to be supported financially and otherwise. They deserve to be promoted, and this is why I feel this new initiative by Edo Entertainment Control is unique, because it's first of its kind. It's looking at helping to pop up a new industry and making it to be able to compete with the best in both in Nigeria and outside the country. Thumbs up. I'm 100% behind this. That's why I'm supporting it.
There's also an update on Edo Confidential magazine and why the first edition is not out this month as projected. The statement from the editor reads, "Due to an overwhelming response after the first announcement, we have had to allow more time for contributors to contribute. We believe this action will help deliver a more complete product that will satisfy the appetite of our readers." Edo Confidential magazine will now be out in January 2019. Edo Entertainment is supported by Loretta Reveal. Next is the announcement. The family of Omorede would like to thank all those who contributed and attended the funeral and wake of our sister and mother, Augustina Akuze Omorede. She was buried in London on November 27th, 2018.
Loretta Oduwari Oboro Oko. This book, it has become a very special book for me. Loretta was referred to me by a mutual friend whose book I had initially also worked on. You know, she just called me WhatsApp call late one evening on my way home from work and said, I hear you're a publisher and I am looking for someone who can publish my book. I'm looking for somebody who's really good, who can pay attention to detail. And she had a whole bucket list of do's and don'ts, you know, on that very first call, and I was quite amused, you know.
The Salami family and Mrs. Linda Salami thanks all those who came for the burial and Thanksgiving service of Mr. Salami Romano, held in Lewisham on the weekend of November 25th, 2018. He was aged 70 years old. That's it this week on Edo International News. Thanks to our sponsors and more importantly, thanks to you for staying with us. Please check out our website www.edoconnect.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Edo information. Edo Entertainment News is sponsored by Obaseki Solicitors.
1963, the Midwestern region, the only constitutionally created federating unit in Nigeria, was born as Nigeria's 4th region. 12 December 2018, 55 years later, the Midwest peoples of Edo and Delta states gather in Asaba for the Midwest Summit. Captains of industry, professionals, politicians, traditional rulers, academicians, youth, women and community leaders, all proud Bendelites, all sons and daughters of Edo and Delta states of the Midwestern region of Nigeria are invited to the Midwest Summit on 12 December 2018. Venue, Orchid Hotels Asaba, time 9 a.m. Keynotes, President Muhammadu Buhari as APC presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as PDP presidential candidate. Guests of honor, all presidential candidates. Co-host, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, Executive Governor of Delta State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, Executive Governor of Edo State, Masters of Ceremony, Ohi Alegbe, Richard Mofe Damijo, Sonny Rabo, and Israel Ejeren. The Midwest Summit. Let's determine the place of the Delta and Edo peoples in a new Nigeria. The Midwest Summit is convened by the Midwest Movement. All been there.